A young couple moves into an old house where strange things start to happen. They discover that the house is haunted by the ghost of the murdered wife of the previous owner, who seeks revenge on anyone who tries to take her place. Anna and David were happy in their new house. They bought it at a low price from an old man who said he needed to leave the country urgently. The house was spacious, cozy, and beautiful. Anna and David furnished it according to their taste and enjoyed their new life, but soon they started to notice that something was wrong with the house. Sometimes they heard footsteps, knocks, whispers, or cries from empty rooms. Sometimes they found things that they didn't remember buying or putting in a certain place. Sometimes they felt a cold breeze or a smell of perfume that didn't belong to them. Anna and David tried to explain these phenomena logically. They thought it could be because of the age of the house, the neighbors, the animals, or just their imagination. They didn't want to believe that there was something supernatural in the house. They loved their house and didn't want to leave it, but one day everything changed. Anna and David came home after work and saw that all the furniture was overturned, the walls were written with blood, and the corpse of the cat they had recently adopted was lying on the floor. On the mirror in the bedroom it was written in red letters. "Get out of here. This is my house. She is my wife." Anna and David were horrified. They realized that there was indeed a ghost in the house, and that he was very angry and dangerous. They decided to find out who he was and what he wanted. They went to the local library and found newspaper articles about the past residents of the house. They learned that the house belonged to an old man who had a young wife. He was jealous and cruel, and often beat her. One day he killed her with a knife in the bedroom, and then killed himself. Since then, the house was considered cursed, and no one wanted to live in it. Anna and David realized that the ghost who haunted them was the ghost of the murdered husband, who couldn't accept that he had lost his wife. He thought that Anna was his wife, and that David was the one who took her away from him. He wanted them to leave the house, or he would kill them, as he killed his wife. Anna and David decided that they had to escape from the house as soon as possible. They packed their things and hurried to the car. But when they got out of the house, they saw that the car door was locked, and the keys were inside. They tried to open the door, but in vain. They heard the house door close behind them. They turned around and saw a pale face with bloody eyes and a wound on the throat. It was the ghost of the murdered husband. He smiled wickedly and said,
"You're not going anywhere. You're mine. Forever."
Anna and David were terrified. They knew they were trapped, and that the ghost of the murdered husband wanted to kill them. They looked around for something to defend themselves with, but they couldn't find anything. They only had their phones, but they had no signal. They thought they were doomed. They hugged each other and said they loved each other. The ghost of the murdered husband laughed and said,
"You think you can escape me? You think you can love each other? You don't know what love is. You only know how to betray and hurt. You deserve to die, like she did."
He moved closer to them, ready to strike. But then he stopped. He heard a voice. A voice that he hadn't heard for a long time. A voice that he loved and hated at the same time. A voice that said, "Stop. Leave them alone. They have nothing to do with us. They are innocent." The ghost of the murdered husband turned around and saw a figure. A figure that he recognized. A figure that he had killed. It was his wife. She was standing in front of the house, holding a bouquet of flowers. She looked sad and angry. She said, "You have no right to do this. You have no right to haunt this house. You have no right to harm these people. You have no right to call me your wife. You lost me when you killed me. You lost me when you killed yourself. You lost me when you refused to move on. You lost me when you became a monster." The ghost of the murdered husband was shocked. He couldn't believe that his wife was there. He couldn't believe that she was talking to him. He couldn't believe that she was against him. He said,
"But I love you. I always loved you. I only killed you because I couldn't bear to lose you." I only killed myself because I couldn't live without you. I only stayed here because I wanted to be with you. I only did this because I wanted you to be mine.
His wife shook her head and said, "You don't love me. You never loved me. You only loved yourself. You only killed me because you were selfish and possessive. You only killed yourself because you were cowardly and guilty. You only stayed here because you were stubborn and bitter. You only did this because you wanted to make me suffer. Goodbye, my husband. Goodbye, my killer. Goodbye, my ghost. Goodbye, my nightmare. I forgive you, but I don't love you. I release you, but I don't want you. I free you, but I don't follow you. Go away from here. Go away from me. Go away from them. Go away from life. Go away from love. Go away from everything. Go away and never come back." The ghost of the murdered husband attacked David with hatred and began to strangle him. Anna remembered that there was a crucifix in the house, which they found in the basement. She thought it might be the only way to get rid of the ghost. She ran to the basement, where she found the crucifix, and grabbed it. She returned to the ghost and thrust the crucifix into his chest. She yelled, "Go away, evil spirit. You have no power over us. In the name of God, I banish you." The ghost of the murdered husband howled with rage. He released David and staggered back from Anna. He looked at the crucifix with horror and hatred. He said,
You can't banish me. This is my house. She is my wife. I won't let you take her from me. I'll kill you, like I killed her.
The ghost felt himself begin to vaporize and disappear. He heard Anna say, "Go away, evil spirit. You have no power over us. In the name of God, I banish you." The ghost of the murdered husband made a last moan and faded away. Anna and David hugged and cried. They were alive, but in shock from what they had experienced. They decided that they had to leave the house as soon as possible and never come back. They looked at the car and saw that the door was open, and the keys were on the seat. They realized that the ghost of the murdered wife helped them. She didn't want them to suffer, like she did. She wanted them to be happy. Anna and David got in the car and drove away. They didn't look back. They knew that this house was not for them.